Okay, ready? Barack Hussein Obama, have you ever heard of him?
Yeah.
He spent 2 years and over $100 million on trying to fix it. You know what happened to it? Never even opened.
Correct.
He took the water from the river. You know about that, right? It turned out to be putrid, and it destroyed the whole thing.
So Trump just cannot seem to stop embarrassing himself, specifically over this reflecting pool debacle, for lack of a better word. They screwed this up massively, and he needs somebody to blame. So it's not Trump's fault. It's not the guy that he hired, which I'll get to him in just a second. No. It's elusive, clandestine, left-wing vandals who cut the side of the reflecting pool, and that's the reason all the paint's peeling off here. Look at this. Like, this is him talking about it.
Vandals, you know, we have I think 290, 300 foot slit right through it, probably a box cutter or a knife of some kind. Or we had people lifting up the basic, it's not a lot of damage, but we'll probably have to let the water out and refix it. They went in there with a knife. I was just told by the people over at Parks, they have 5 people are arrested.
Okay, first of all, if you believe that this was done by vandals, I have a very, very large bridge to sell you. I mean, we're talking about the most heavily surveilled place pretty much in the country, right? This is Washington, D.C. And if there were evidence that there were people going through with a knife or a box cutter and cutting down the side of the reflecting pool to make the tape peel off, which, by the way, he's saying it was like 250 or 300 feet. That would take quite a long time, by the way. But if you believe that, and there's not, a single frame of video evidence or a picture of this, like what? No, Trump doesn't even believe this, right? But he has to blame somebody. So it's vandals, right? It's not because I hired one of my buddies who had absolutely no business getting this no-bid government contract for $14 million. And I've seen the numbers. It's like 14 million. Some say 16 million, whatever it is. The guy's name, I'm going to put him up here on the screen. His name is John Cafaro, and he looks like this. Like, he looks like a cartoon villain. Like, I can't even make this up. And speaking of things you can't make up, the name of his company is Green Water Solutions. Come on, man. Like, come on. Who did this? This has to be scripted, right? Like, there's no way. But like I said, he's trying to blame it on somebody else. It definitely wasn't Trump's fault. It definitely wasn't his guy's fault. No, everybody, they were highly skilled. They did a great job. This was the fault of vandalism. And he said that they've arrested like 5 people or 6 people right now. This is, by the way, Judge Weinbach's Janine Pirro talking about, how they're going to go after people to the fullest extent of the law if you're caught vandalizing the reflecting pool.
Anyone who was in a position of vandalizing or attempting to vandalize the reflecting pool will face the criminal justice system in D.C. Look, the president has made it a priority to make D.C. not only safe but beautiful. And there are several citations that have been handed out to individuals, and these are cases that will be prosecuted to the full extent. If there are more serious products that are put into the reflecting pool to create more algae or a bigger problem, then we'll consider more serious charges. But make no mistake, making D.C. beautiful is a priority, and if you damage, vandalize, or do anything to impact something like the reflective pool, you can be prosecuted.
I want to remind everybody that they have arrested now 5 or 6 people. You know how many people have been arrested that were in the Epstein files? Zero. So if you are a tourist or a passerby of the reflecting pool and you happen to stop and you put your hand in the water to go, holy crap, there's a giant chunk of paint floating in it, they're going to try and call you a vandal who's ruining a national monument. But if you are in the Epstein files and you're dead to rights. There's plenty of evidence that you've been kitty diddling and you're involved in this massive sex trafficking ring. Trump, the Department of Justice, everybody in the Republican Party, nope, that's totally fine. Don't care. He's such a disaster, man. And I want to talk about this as well, because this is super funny. So there was Midas Touch actually interviewed a Republican congressman and asked him about this, and this was his response. Here, take a look.
Mr. Chairman, any reaction to this reflecting pool controversy?
I think there's much bigger and more important things to worry about.
For example?
Affordability for my constituents who are struggling from the consequences of a Biden administration.
And what's the caucus doing this? What are Republicans doing this week for affordability?
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Who are you with?
Midas Touch.
What is that?
Midas Touch.
I don't know what that is.
Midas Touch. We're pretty famous.
Pretty famous?
Yeah.
How are you, sir? Doing well? Good.
No, it's just like, what's going on the affordability policy this week? It's a good faith question.
What's going on in the affordability
What
process?
are you doing for affordability?
Well,
for
in the Ways
Americans?
and Means Committee, we're looking at ways to bring down
Yeah.
taxes on working families.
Anything in particular, though? Any policies?
Okay, first of all, if that dude is straight, then I'm Mike Tyson. That's neither here nor there. I don't care if he's gay or straight. The Republicans are the ones that make a big deal about, trans issues and they're massive bigots and homophobes, which is the only reason why I bring it up. But what is funny is that he goes, look, I don't think we should be talking about this. I think that we should be focusing on issues. And, they ask him, well, so like what? And he goes, well, affordability for one. And this is super important because one of the bills that was supposed to get voted on today, which Trump actually basically squashed, was a bill about affordability. And the his reason was, we have to pass the SAVE Act. I'm not going to do anything unless we pass the SAVE Act, which is his voter suppression bill, right? It's the thing where it's like it requires you to have a passport, and if you've changed your name since being married, then you'd have to go and re-register and all of this nonsense, right? It's a voter suppression bill. It's all about, hey, how do we make it as difficult as possible for people to vote? Because I covered this. If you followed me for any length of time, I've covered this a couple of times before. The amount of voter suppression, the amount of voter fraud that happens in this country is statistically closer to 0% than it is to 1%, and you don't have to take my word for it. You can literally go look this up on right-wing think tanks like Heritage or Cato. They will tell you that there's basically 0 cases of voter fraud in the United States. It's that little. But they need to make it an issue because Republicans do better when election turnout is low, which is why they're pushing a voter suppression bill. Here's the other funny part about this. I don't think they have the votes in the Senate. And the reason I don't think they have the votes in the Senate is because, one, I'm sure a bunch of senators are like, look, this is stupid. But also, we got to talk about Mitch McConnell. So Mitch McConnell has been in the hospital for the last 10 days. And I think he might be on his way out. I mean, McConnell is 84. And he's had a series of health issues. Like, anybody who's seen him recently, he looks like shit. I mean, like, he looks like he doesn't know where he is. There's tons of videos of him getting asked questions, and he just glitches out. He's just like, and he freezes. And then, like, one of his handlers comes over, and they're like, Mitch, do you want to talk anymore? No? Do you want to go to your office? Yeah? Okay. All right, everybody. That's it. No more questions. And he just gets, shuffled off. That is what Mitch McConnell has become. And I personally am over the moon because there are a few people in this country that have been as destructive as Mitch McConnell. I mean, obviously Trump is up there, might be number one. But there are very few people in this country that have been as destructive as Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is almost single-handedly responsible for us having a 6-3 MAGA majority on the Supreme Court, because he famously held up Merrick Garland's nomination when Barack Obama was on his way out in 2016 for over 9 months. And his reasoning was, because he was the majority leader in the Senate, he was like, well, it's an election year, so we're not going to fill a seat because it's an election year, and that wouldn't be fair for an outgoing president to get a Supreme Court justice pick. And then Trump gets in there. They immediately seat, what's that guy's name? I'm blanking on it. It'll come to me in a second. Gorsuch. And then at the very end of Trump's term, at the very end of it, within like a month, I think, of the election, they seat Amy Coney Barrett because Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. And and he was asked at the time, he was like, hey, don't you feel like kind of a hypocrite? He was, no, absolutely not. So Mitch McConnell, for what it's worth, knows how to wield power and doesn't care about the rules. It's just about, I will do literally whatever it takes to entrench Republican power. And they have done so much damage to the judiciary in this country with all of their Heritage Foundation, like, what are they called? Federalist Society approved judges. I mean, like, most of these people are not qualified at all to sit on the Supreme Court, but those are the people that the Republicans want to jam through so that they can make rulings that basically ignore the letter of the law and the plain language of the law to favor whatever the Republicans want. That's the damage that Mitch McConnell has done, is he has done massive, irreversible damage to the judiciary in this country, as well as a bunch of other things. So if he is, in fact, on his way out, I'll be popping champagne. And on that note, if they manage to secure even a single conviction on one of these so-called vandals, I'll friggin' chug a handle of vodka, like, on camera. It's not gonna happen. It's total and complete horseshit. But like I said, he has to blame somebody. So that's these unfortunate passerbys are the victim of being in the wrong place at the wrong time when Trump screwed up. Anyway, guys, if you made it this far, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already sub, click the bell as well. That way YouTube will notify you, hopefully, whenever I upload another video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.